Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, News and Entertainment with a Buzz. This one is called Man a Plan, Gotta Wipe Out. I am speaking about an incident that took place on a place called Back Street that is in Runaway Bay. Runaway Bay is in St. Anne, where 3 individuals out of 4 lost their life going on a mission meaning a contract hit. It is said that the sole identified individual is a man known as Dickie. Dickie was out on bail on a October 2020 murder in which he took away an individual. The next man that was said to be the trigger man in that case was also killed. So it seems as if Dickie and his friends, 4 total, was on a wipeout campaign to get rid of all witnesses or anybody that could have testified against him or against the suspects in that 2020 case. It is said that they went on a contract hit for a businessman. Don't know if that businessman was a part of the witness team or that businessman was just a random money for hire, takeaway for hire by Dickie and his cronies. However, it seems as if the relevant authority, the opposition, got wind that this hit was going to go down and they intercepted the probox that they were driving in. And based on the police, men alighted from the probox, blaze up some can after the police, the cliche script, police return not light but even more fire like Capleton. After the smoke cleared, 3 men were seen clutching on to their life, clutching on to a AK-47 and a 9mm. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, 3 of them did not make it, unfortunately for us. 1 of them escaped. Hopefully he was wounded, and hopefully he will more than likely BLEED out. Now people, based on the information, like I said, the sole person that was identified by the police was Dickie. However, I also heard that the next one that lost his life, his name is Malik. When we think about the fact that this youth was out on bail, meaning Dickie, that means some judge, after a brutal takeaway, decide that it is in the public's interest to give this youth bail. One of the bail conditions, or a couple of the bail conditions, was that they report to the police station in a Maypen or wherever that takeaway took place. And that he was never, ever, ever to visit St. Anne, the parish of St. Anne, none at all. And even most importantly, he was not supposed to interfere with the witness. Now, people like me say, me not really know the specifics of who the witness is, or if this businessman was the witness or this businessman was just an ex-contract takeaway. Don't know why these judges think that these youths, after them show them, say, listen, this is what we do. We sling gun, we take our people life, contract, and then if there's any witness in our cases, we're going to make sure that we get rid of these witnesses. So the people that are tasked to serve and protect us, keep us safe, is the people that mostly puts us in harm's way. So I don't know the rationale, like I've said on many occasions, why these judges think that it is a right thing to do to send out a murderer to commit more murders, because that is exactly what they do. That is what is in their genetic makeup. That is their history. So I don't know why these judges are always throwing sympathy party that comes back and it haunts persons like you and I. So people, at the end of the day, the good thing is that 3 out of 4, 75% is a win, is a pass in any category. Unfortunately, 1 of them did not make it. Hopefully, he will learn from this, because based on the pictures that I have, and I cannot show because of YouTube's policy, we see all sorts of hole in a people, upper torso, in a them head, in a them shoulder, meaning lick out limbs. Even if they live, they would have been paraplegic, they would have been handicapped, them couldn't be functional to themselves. But the good thing is that we won't have to worry about that. We kind of put a stoppage to that, put a stoppage to their heart. Young men out there, if you decide, should you decide that you want to pick up a life of criminality, remember, every day that the bucket goes to the well, one day the bottom are going to fall out. The law of possibility or probability is always going to run against you. It is not sustainable for you to do crime, take away people's life, and think say, every day it is going to be the same. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it seems as if the very disturbing trend with young ladies, women getting missing, sometimes found, you know what. The latest person on the Ananda list, 17-year-old Michaela Marsh of Cedar Grove, which is in Gregory Park, St. Catherine. Based on the information, it is said that she has been missing since Wednesday, 11th of June, 2025. She is of brown complexion, slim build, about 5 feet 4 inches tall. Reports from the Caymanas police is that about 1:30 p.m., Michaela was last seen at the Portmore Mall wearing a grey t-shirt, khaki pants. She has not been seen or heard from since. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Michaela Marsh is being asked to contact the Caymanas police. The number that they give, 876-988-1719, or the police 119 emergency, our nearest Popo station. Now, people, like me say, this is a very disturbing trend, but we've all seen it before. People get missing, then the police kind of clamp down. People start report them, people start get arrested, people start get convicted, then them run go back into them shell. But them know, say, when it comes to the JCF, when it comes to law enforcement, it is always a 90 talk. Like them say, when the cat's away, the mice will play. Them just make it cool down and then them start again. The problem that I have a lot of times with these young teenage girls, these ages 17, 15, 16. Now the truth and the fact is that I would rather the lesser of two evils. I would rather to know that these pitney have a friend gone by the friend house, runway, gone a man yard than for some strange man to take away that child, because usually when them go missing, they are usually missing for good, usually found in some sorts of shallow grave. Now I don't want to damn the hopes of anybody, but we've seen the latest result when it comes to people being missing, especially girls. These youths nowadays, they are so cold, them cake up, them thirsty, them take with the people them picnic, and the next thing you know, they don't want that child to testify against them, so it usually ends up in the worst extent. Either way, the parents or guardians are going to be stressed out. People like me say, let's pray, hope for the best, expect the worst. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called before and after. The picture that you see on the screen is of a man, I think he is called Duke. That is the before. The after, I cannot even show because of YouTube's policy against violent nature pictures and videos. So pretty much a woman that he was in some sorts of relationship with, she flings some sorts of corrosive thing upon him, them call it ACID, and it burn him up badly. Burn him up to the point that he was in critical condition. Eventually, he lost his life based on the severities of those burns, based on the fact that his body went into shock, based on the fact that all sorts of changes were caused by that corrosive thing that she fling upon him, ACID. Based on the information, it is said that the person that is responsible, picture on the screen as I speak, she is called Chevele Walker. It is said that she is from Papine, in the Papine area. Now, people, sometimes they say for every action, there's an equal and opposite. Sometimes not even equal, evilous, demonic reaction. Don't know the type of reaction, don't know the type of relationship, that these individuals had. Don't know if this man had done something to this lady. However, whatever he did, I don't know if it would equate in her actions. And people like me say, me not really know, me can't talk about what me not know about. But me just a say, for you to premeditate, wait, be patient, and fling acid upon somebody, if it was not self-defense, if that person was not trying to hurt you, it speaks volume about this person's mentality. It speaks volume about the evilness about individuals such as women and men. In this case, we are talking about a woman, Chevele Walker from Papine. As soon as I get some more pertinent information, I'll be sure to divulge ASAP. This is very sad, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based off a video that has been making its round over social media, where it is confirmed that a taximan known as Terrible, he was shot up 8 terrible times. Now, because of YouTube's policy, I cannot actually show the actual video, but I can explain everything that took place that I saw. When the video started, the video is about 15 seconds or so long. You could see a man laying on the ground, kind of big, strapped-in man in a blue or black shorts and a grayish with some print t-shirt. However, you know that t-shirt was tie and dyed, and he was pretty much gasping on his last breath. You could see his mouth, skin, all sorts of red in his mouth, all sorts of red all over his body. As a matter of fact, one of those hands was hit so badly, seems like by some high-powered rifle. It was in a very unnatural position. People lift him up. People are drag him, one hold a foot, the next one hold a hand, rate. And you could see that hand that I told you was badly damaged, and then them fling him in at the back of a Probox vehicle, and I guess they rushed him to the hospital. However, too late was the call. The severity of his injuries and the amount of shots was detrimental to his health. Based on the information, it is said that Terrible, he runs the Hellshire route from Portmore. So people, when we see stuff like this, we can come to the conclusion, just another day in a paradise. Normal-ish in a Jamaica, people just a drop and a dead like fly. So the only thing that is sure right now is that he is gone. As to what is the motive, no motive has been established. Fingers could be pointing in all sorts of direction, whether it's extortion, whether it is disagreement, whether it is woman, whether there's some sorts of monetary contention. Whatever it is, he was sent to the afterlife. He was shot up at least 8 times, body riddled, no sorts of joke, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that badman, chopper, gunman, dons, they are losing their life on a rapid basis. They are dropping like flies. The latest victim, or deservedly so, is a man known as Mark II. He is from a place known as Balcom Drive. He is said to be the alleged don. Based on the information, it is said that at about midnight, after midnight, he lost his life at the hands of his own cronies. So people, we see the police are taking them away, deservedly so. And we see that friendly fire is taking out a whole bunch of persons. Based on information that I got, questions that were asked, is this man a real don, not to glorify or justify any sorts of donship? The answer that I got, it is said that him a don for car thief. Now people, like me say, these dons back in the days used to govern the place. Used to play a Robin Hood character, kind of brainwash the people, and they were just scumbags. But we see lately, fast forward, new generations of don, They are nothing but some scumbag. They are nothing but some pestilence. They bring absolutely nothing to the table other than terror, chaos, and catastrophe. Based on the information that I am getting, such is the case as it pertains to Mark II. They might have well called him Mark X because he was marked for death and him is a car thief. Sad, pathetic state of affair as it pertains to badness. It relegated, it dwindled down to nothing, none at all. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news as one of the few objective bloggers on YouTube that speak about news crime in Jamaica. We say the statistics are out, and this is based on scientific survey. Based on what Indicom has to say, since 2024, in excess of 32 members of the security force has been charged for crimes not limited to takeaway, meaning extrajudicial fatal shooting, them call it. Now, people, when we do the mathematics, 12 months in the year, so an average of 2 point something, almost 3 officers are either rounded up, charged by the independent commission based on information that was sent to the DPP's office. The DPP then made a determination that this officer is supposed to be charged. The evidence is overwhelming. I say this to say that we've seen many instances in which police go in an area, and yes, the man is really wanted, and yes, he probably was not doing anything. However, him number get called, and the warrant of death had to be served, and such is the case, justified. But we've seen many cases disturbing in which wrong person does get caught in the wrong situation. However, the police would cover it up. The police would place all sorts of false testimony statements in them reports. And this person not only lost their life unjustly, extrajudicial, but that person is then framed or called a criminal. So my point is that we see that the good and the bad, or the good will have to suffer for the bad, or even worse, die because of the bad, because we are fling out everything. We are talking about casualty of war. We are talking about collateral damage. Once we get the bad guy, it is okay if we get the good guy. So people, I am going to let you hear a latest report of a man that was locked up because of false identity, and what he went through and how the police treated him. I am going to let that man speak based on an interview that he did with TVJ News, and then I'll give my piece.
From a band, I never commit a crime. I've never been to a police station. I've never been to jail. I thought it was a prank at first because I know I have a page on the media where normally get people picture, post it up, and put music on it. Until a couple minutes after, I see everybody start send it to me and know me, and I say, wow, going from this one out right there, so I say, this look real, man, something right about this. So I start dig up now and I try to find out something. I have a police friend that lives, it's my neighbor, I live right up the road up there, so I called him and tell him to check, and returning myself at Mandeville police station. I explained to them what was the issue. And them carry me on a CIB office run I back. After that, them talk to an inspector man and him say, them now have nothing to do with that for them station because enough for them parish. So him say, people hold on. And him make some calls and we did about 10 minutes. We did it till about 10 minutes. And then he come back and say, him have to place me in a custody. Until Portmore come to me. 4 police officers came for me to transfer me from Mandeville to Portmore. When I was going up to Portmore, them start check me. I say, boy, you're a killer. You're a killer, you kill people. And think you wanted, man, you should have turned in yourself and make me come to you. shouldn't turn in yourself and make it come to you.
What seems to have occurred is that certainly there is another Orlando Gray whom the police want for murder. I think what transpired is quite sad because the sequence of events demonstrate, in my view, that whoever put up the photo, no due diligence at all seems to have been done because my client has been living at his address all his life. The mother indicates to me, that's my client's mother, that she believes the picture that was posted is the picture that he has on his passport.
I not go nowhere. I can't go work. I can't go nowhere. I have to stay. I have to lock it because I'm afraid. Afraid me go road and police see me and say, oh, I escaped. This man escaped from prison because they still up there. My picture still up there, say me in custody, you know, and shoot me or something. Me afraid. Me can't go on the road.
So people, you heard what the man said. Mistaken identity. Had to go through the whole rigmarole. Got his lawyer, did what he had to do. However, do you think that the police came out and give this man an apology after all of the abuse, injustice that was dealt out to this man? No, they remain wrong and strong. We not hear from the police hierarchy. We not hear from the commissioner. We not hear from the security or justice minister. They usually keep mum whenever them do any sorts of FUCKRY. So for all of you brainwashed persons that always listen to some people that are not objective, this is yet an next perfect example. I am not telling any lie. I am just giving you facts. However, when you are full of ish, you don't like facts. You don't like the truth. You like to be told exactly what you want to be told. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.